Hi everyone. Happy Sunday.
Hi.
Happy Ides of March. It's certainly been an Ides of March kind of week. Um, I've been getting some questions about the protest poster, and I was initially going to do a lesson about it Monday. So um, we are going to talk a little bit about protest posters right now so that you know what to do. Um, yeah, we hope that you are having a great week. First question is that some people have asked, when is the protest poster due? Well, the idea was to share it in class tomorrow, but since we're not going to be able to, so you have to
You protest the coronavirus?
no, don't protest the coronavirus. This is not a good time for civil disobedience. The irony. Obey everyone right now. Um, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Why would you say that? Don't say that.
It's what your students would say.
That is what they would say.
I'm just being in the minds of you.
Okay, don't protest the coronavirus.
Don't.
Actually, let's all protest the coronavirus by doing a sit-in our own homes.
Okay.
We will collectively have a sit-in until we sit out the coronavirus. We will wait out the coronavirus while sitting in our own homes.
Sit in?
Yes. Anyhow, I lost my train of thought. Gosh, I can't teach with you. What were we talking? The due dates. The due dates. We were going to share them in class, but we cannot share the posters in class. So I'm going to share some here. Okie doke. So let's talk a little bit about that. So when is it due? Turn it in when you can, if you can. Monday-ish is great. I'm going to try to share some of the ones that I get throughout class this week since, you can't share them with each other. So, yeah, turn it in Monday-ish sometime. So we'll give you some advice now. This week was going to be about civil disobedience, and we talked a little bit last week about making protest posters and some of the things that make them good. We read some articles about what makes a good protest, and I pointed out that a lot of these have really simple wording, just like the WikiHow article said. Try to keep it to just a few words. They've got some really good bold lettering. So I'm sure all y'all are going to make ones that are better than these. So here's one that I made a while back, and I wanted to talk a little bit about where I got the inspiration for it. And I'm going to do this the way that you would do your write-up. So this is one that I made because I was sad that Hillary Clinton lost the election, and so I took some of the advice about protest posters and I made it really bold colors, and I went with all caps and simple lettering, and then I also added a little pop of color to get attention because contrast gets attention. You'll see that I added the 19% in red, and then I kind of like underlined Congress in yellow, because I really wanted to be able to get attention. So this was in that article by Brian Brown, The Art of Protest from 2017. And Brian Brown said right here, sometimes the most effective statements are the simplest. And so I was just going for simple. Women are 50% of U.S., but only 19% of Congress. Let's fix that. So I tried to go simple. In that same article, Brian Brown said that this art uses a simple design, bold lettering, and a surprising punchline to make a different point. I don't know that my punchline was exactly surprising, but I did go for just simple, like 50.7, 19%. Like there's some inequity there, really bold lettering. And I also like how this one was black and red, did kind of like black and red to just, high contrast, get the point. In terms of material, what did I make this one out of? Well, that's kind of a funny story. Around the time of the Women's March, I could not find poster board anywhere I lived. I went to like 5 different stores till I gave up, and I was at, I think, Joann's looking for a poster board. And so then I walked down the cake aisle, and they had these big giant, like the cardboard sheets that they put cake on. And so I was like, I can make a protest poster out of those. So I bought 2 of them, and then I used these like fun duct tape to tape them together so that it would be easy to hold, and then I could put things on each side. So you really can use anything. You can use cardboard, whatever, but y'all are just making a sample one. I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Yours can be digital, just on Google Drawings. It can be just on a piece of paper. I'm going to show some of that today. So here's another one that Mr. Moore and I made with our kids.
Oh, yeah.
So
I remember that.
What's kind of funny about this one is we made it at a point where it was like so many people were inviting us to go to so many protests for so many different things, and we ultimately were like so tired of making protest posters. We said we should make one really big protest poster that meets like everything. So
all you need is love.
Da 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 da. Which is true though, like all you need is love. So this one we made for this protest, which was after there
Newbury
was
Park?
Yeah, there was a mosque in Newbury Park that had been threatened by some people who had some anti-Muslim sentiments, and it was right after there had been a mosque in Quebec, Canada, where some Muslims had been killed in a shooting there, and they were feeling afraid to go to their religious services that weekend. And so the community, we showed up just to support them and show them that we still love our neighbors, our Muslim neighbors. We love our Jewish neighbors. We love all of our neighbors, and just to protest the fact that anyone thought it was okay to threaten them at all. So that was us there showing our support. And we used that poster at a couple more things because love conquers all. And we did really big, giant, bold lettering. And we also wanted our kids to be able to have something to do with it and have some fun with it. And that was just butcher paper that I think we folded over. It was like the size that goes on bulletin boards.
Oh, duct tape on the side?
Yep, with my duct tape left over from the prior sign to tape it together. And see, this had an equal purpose. I don't even know most of those people that are holding the sign with us. We were just like, hey, you want to join in? Come on, have a sign.
I don't even know the kids.
Yeah,
They're
I don't know the
kids.
Oh yeah, those. Well, 2 of those are our kids, but the other 2 kids are not our kids.
Okay.
And our bold coloring, though, we were kind of going for this idea that, you know, many different colors and many different people, and that we love, you know, sort of like that. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in God's sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. So we were just going for a different sort of eye-catching, and it did get lots of attention. Lots of people honked in support of us. So here's one that was turned in already. Huzzah to those of you who spent your weekend sit in your house, not do anything to social distance yourself doing homework. Go you. Or maybe you did it last week when I assigned it. That's cool too. Anyhow, this person took the concept of private property, no trespassing signs, like we talked about in class, that you can take a familiar idea and put a little spin on it, and made the point that when the government trespasses on native land, that they are doing something that is not right, which is funny because I think Americans love their no trespassing private property signs. This was Joseph's design. Huzzah, Joseph. Nice job.
Hip, hip, huzzah.
Joseph C. And just the one feedback I'd give here is I think that I would have probably done a little bit more spacing on it. Maybe just like building pipelines on our land is trespassing, just because it's a bit much from far away.
Oh yeah, bigger words are a little bit bigger or better.
Yeah, the easier it is to
letters.
see
Yeah.
from far away. So you could have just
because Mr. Moore's pretty blind. So.
Well, just in general too. A lot of times you're holding these and in a giant crowd. So that would be my one little bit on that. But I really liked your spin on private property. This is one submitted by Christina. Huzzah, Christina. Nice job. See, it doesn't have to be fancy. Sheet of paper is fine. So Christina said she spent some time browsing and saw that the closed fist is a really common protest symbol, which it is. So she decided to work the closed fist into like a women's rights sign. And the expression women's rights are human rights that's a common expression, which is also totally fine.
She's a good artist.
She is, right? I was thinking I probably could not draw that if I wanted to. Tiana would trace it. That's what Tiana would do. Did you trace it, Christina?
Who cares?
Well, no, that's a great idea.
I think it's great.
My daughter spent the day drawing flip books on all my Post-it notes, so I don't have any Post-it notes anymore. But hey, that's art for you. Anyhow, the way that you integrated that fist into another common image, and it's also kind of sort of like a 1960s hairstyle, which I like because 60s was feminism. So also the super bold lettering. This is really eye-catching. I would love to see this on a big giant poster. It's awesome. You definitely got the point. Way to go. So for the write-up, what to do? Just make sure in the write-up that you explain how you chose the design or message. And you can say you were browsing the internet for other things. That's fine. I do a lot of internet browsing for ideas. And then just share one piece of information or advice from our sources that you utilized in creating your poster. So, you might want to return to those sources and utilize the advice before you start it. So you can look at Brian Brown's piece, which was the one I quoted from earlier today, about the bold lettering and high contrast, or you could talk about The Art of the Protest by Tina Rosenberg. That was, she mentioned laughtivism and things like that if you make a funny one. So just think about what advice you integrated into it, what inspired you. I can't wait to read all of your write-ups and see your posters. I hope you have a wonderful week at home. Remember that it's not open, but school is available. They are there for you to drive through and pick up lunches and breakfast. It'll be packaged together for you if you want it. So there's a pickup behind Pandaland in the back parking lot at Pandaland. So if you're coming from the San Fernando side, that would probably be your easiest pickup point. And there's a pickup point in front of G3. So stop by G3 or Pandaland if you need lunch. Stay safe. Have a great week.
Peace out.